I have 12 cologne fragrances that perform. This is a really good list. These are some epic scents. We're going to dive into this, but before we do, remember to give the like button an epic click and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Also, let me know down in the comments, what would you add to this epic list? Okay, here we go. This first one. This one's been around for a long time, and it's one that out of the 4 or 5 cologne fragrances of Creed Aventus that I own, I've worn this one the most. This is Haramain Laventure. And considering you can get this for about $22, it is incredible. It's really leaning towards a fruity batch of Aventus. So it's going to give you that beautiful, bright, fruity opening, but not so much of the smokiness and the dry down. And this one is going to last you easily 8 hours, probably more like 10 hours. They even have an intense version that'll last you about 12 or 14 from what I hear. But this is a highly recommended clone of Creed Aventus. Next up, this is a clone of probably my favorite Mancera fragrance, the original Red Tobacco. This one is Paris Corner Ember Wild and Tobacco. This is a powerful, I would say probably beast mode fragrance. It's got that gorgeous smoky tobacco. It's got cinnamon. It's got tons of spice. It's got a beautiful earthy patchouli. It's got a touch of oud, a touch of leather, a little vanilla as well, maybe even a touch of chocolate. Don't quote me on that, but some vanilla. It's a sweet, powerful, smoky, spicy tobacco fragrance, and you can get it for really inexpensive. Great pickup right there. Now we have a clone of Invictus Victory Elixir by Cologne. This is Epic Artistique. There are some differences, so maybe you would call this a bit of a twist on that DNA, but they're pretty close. This one maybe has a touch more sweetness than the Invictus, but you're going to get that wonderful sweet opening, which reminds me even a little bit of something like 1 Million Elixir. But then you go on down into that very familiar Invictus Victory, kind of dark and spicy aromatic goodness. Epic Artistique by Cologne, a great clone of Victory Elixir. Okay, this next one, this one actually is a super cheapie, less than $20. It has been getting some hype for some very good reason. I saw Ash from Gensense did a video 6 months ago, and now everybody has it. And if you don't, you should pick up Sapil Bound. This is a clone of Armani Code Profumo. And so this one has all of that wonderful sweetness. Of course, you've got that tonka bean. You've got some patchouli. You've got a little bit of an earthy nuance and a whole bunch of sweetness. You've got something that's kind of fizzy in the opening. This one and Absolute are kind of tied for my favorite Code fragrances. But this right here for about 18 bucks is one of the best ultra cheapy pickups that you could purchase. Okay, next, this one is interesting because it's a single fragrance molecule. It's a clone of Eccentric Molecules. I think it's Molecule 02 ISO E Super. And this one is Oak City Beard Company's ISO E Super. And this one is actually an Extrait de Parfum. And so this one's going to give you a good 8 hours. It could be a lot longer than that, but you will most likely go nose blind to this and you'll just get wafts occasionally. But it's inexpensive. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the description. But for around, I think, less than $25, you can get very close to that $100 Eccentric Molecules niche fragrance. Okay, this next one's very interesting. Another just stupid cheap, awesome clone. This one is very similar to Chocolate Greedy. This is Al Rehab's Choco Musk. And this one is just a powerfully sweet, chocolatey fragrance. You've got a bunch of chocolate, you've got a bunch of vanilla, you've even got a touch of oud in here. It will remind you of something like Latafa Camra with a lot less spices and without the booziness. and chocolate added in. It's that kind of rich, thick fragrance. It smells like a chocolate cake, or at least maybe like yellow cake layers with chocolate frosting. It's super gourmand, and this, I'm telling you, on my skin lasts about 10 hours, and it costs about $10. Okay, next, this is one that when it came out, it got, I think, some much deserved hype. They totally aped the bottle of the fragrance that they're cloning. This is Inicio's Oud for Greatness, a clone of it. This is, of course, Oud for Glory, Badi al Oud for Glory by Lattafa. And it is extremely close to the Inicio. There is definitely going to be a quality gap between the two, but fragrance profile, this one is going to get you so close to that fragrance. You've got oud, you've got spice, you've got some saffron, you've got that wonderful woody, slightly smoky or incensey kind of vibe. This is a great pickup, one that I've got to be in the mood for, so I'll probably wear it, you know, maybe twice a month during the real cold weather. But this is a great pickup, and you can get it actually for very inexpensive nowadays. Okay, next up, this fragrance kind of replaced one of my favorite fragrances, Dior Omen Tense. And this one, it didn't really replace it, but it's so good and it's so strong. It does outperform Dior Omen Tense. My bottle is not very old. I think older formulations were stronger. This is like an 8 to 10 hour Dior Omen Tense. It is super high quality. It's super close to the original. This is Al Wataniya's Cayenne Classic. Wonderful iris fragrance with a touch of woods, a good bit of sweetness. You've got that muskmellow. You've got that sort of ambery, vanillic sweetness. This one right here is a great pickup. I had to get mine on eBay. I haven't really seen retailers carrying it, but they should get it because it would sell like crazy. All right, this next one. This one has kind of been, hyped to death, but there's good reason. I have worn the heck out of this fragrance. It is so strong. 12 plus hours, and it's a clone, really more of a twist of Angel Share by Kilian's. This is, of course, Lattafa Camra. This is such a powerful, sweet, slightly boozy, spicy, kind of marshmallowy, very slightly oudy fragrance, and it's going to give you powerful projection, very long-lasting performance. If you haven't picked this one up yet, there's a reason it gets the hype that it does. My wife loves this fragrance. She'll smell me coming across the room, and so this is one that you probably want to get your hands on. All right, next, this is one I haven't talked about much. I just picked it up, I don't know, maybe in the fall of last year or so. But this one is a actually very good clone of Yves Saint Laurent Y Parfum. And so the EDP I love, and I've got a bunch of clones of. But this one's a good clone of the Parfum, except the opening is a little bit different. This is Yeah Parfum by Lattafa. This is around a $20 pickup. And it's going to give you everything that Y Le Parfum gives you, except for that bright citrus kind of fizzy opening, that, effervescent orange that you get in the Yves Saint Laurent. You get a touch of that here, but nowhere near what you get in the original. But about 10 minutes in, it's almost indistinguishable from the original. So Y Le Parfum dupe for $20, definitely worth it if you ask me. And it's a good performer, 8+ hours easy. All right, this next one. This is one of the longest lasting fragrances I own. Maybe I have a freak bottle, but a lot of you have told me in comments you get the same. This is a 12+ hour performer. This is a clone, of course, of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. I'm talking about Armaf's Club de Nuit Seage. This is a slightly Middle Eastern take on Silver Mountain Water. It's got a touch of a spiciness and even a touch of something that reminds me almost of like incense or smokiness, but you're immediately going to recognize that inky tea vibe that you get in Silver Mountain Water. and this one lasts forever. It changes a lot too. It changes like a high-end niche fragrance. From the time you spray it on, all the way 12 hours in, it's still changing. This is a very impressive fragrance, and you can get it usually for under $40. Club de Nuit Seage. Fantastic pickup. All right, this next one. This is a clone, but it is a niche-priced clone, and it's a clone of Raja Parfum's Elysium. I think it was around $130 for this. This brand, all of their clones are expensive, but all of them are legitimately niche quality. I'm talking about Parfum's Vintage, and this is Evolution del Homme Soir. It's a very strong, very long-lasting clone of Elysium. The difference is the vetiver in this one, that grassy, woody vetiver in this one is probably increased by about a third over actual Elysium. You still get that citrus, black currant sweetness in the opening, but it's overshadowed a little bit by that vetiver, and that vetiver carries the rest of the fragrance just like it does in the original, but it is a stronger note. So if you love the grassy vetiver in Elysium, you'll love this one. If that is your least favorite part of Elysium, you probably don't want to buy this one, but this is like a 10-hour version of Elysium, Evolution del Homme Soir. So that's been 12. Each of these are, I would say, epic clones, because what you get for the money, with the exception of the last one, is just sort of insane. And these are good performing clones. So let me know down in the comments what you would add to the list. Remember to give the like button an epic click and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. I'm Justin. This is Seage Scents.